The host is beaming, holding the spoon, offering you more, and you say, "No, I don't like it." The whole table goes silent.
Can I confess something? I froze a dinner exactly like that. I panicked, the room went quiet, and I wanted to disappear.
Sound familiar? Stay with us and you'll walk away with 3 warm lines to decline, accept, and praise food without ever hurting a friend. Let's rewind that dinner. Same spoon, same hopeful host, but this time you smile and say, "It's delicious, but I'm completely full, thank you."
Whoa, same no, totally different room. Nobody flinched.
Did you catch the trick? You start warm, it's delicious, then the but carries the no.
So the kind part goes first and the refusal rides in behind it.
Exactly. Say it with us now, out loud. "It's delicious, but I'm completely full, thank you."
One more time, slower. It's delicious, but I'm completely full, thank you. That actually felt natural in my mouth.
Here's why it matters. The blunt, "No, I don't like it," doesn't just refuse the dish, it refuses the host.
Right. They spent the afternoon cooking, and a cold no lands on them, not the food.
A guest who can soften a refusal keeps the table warm. The flavor of the night stays friendly.
I wish I had known that one line years ago. It would have saved that dinner.
But declining is only the first move. What happens when you actually want a second helping, and "yes, please" still sounds a little flat?
Oh, there's a warmer way to accept too?
There is, and that's where it gets interesting. Before we warm up that yes, here's one common slip with that decline line. People drop the thank you and just say, "But I'm full."
And then it sounds a bit abrupt again, like the door shut too fast?
A little. The thank you is the bow on top, so keep it. And you can swap the front half too.
Show me a swap.
Try, "I couldn't eat another bite, but it was wonderful." Same shape. Warm thing first, then the but.
Got it. Praise first, refusal second. The host keeps their smile. But here's my worry. What if I actually do want more? I don't want to wave the spoon away.
Then you flip the whole move. That's the warmer yes we teased.
A second helping, but said kindly.
Exactly. Hold that thought because the accept line has its own little secret.
Okay, what's the secret?
Rewind the table one more time. The spoon's coming at your plate, only now you actually want more.
Right, that was my worry. How do I say yes without grabbing the bowl?
Watch what a relaxed guest says. "I'd love just a little, thank you."
Oh, that's soft. Not give me more, just a little.
That's the secret. "Would love" makes wanting more sound warm, not greedy.
So I drop I want completely?
Please do. "I want more" sounds like an order. "I'd love just a little" sounds like you're accepting a gift.
I always feel greedy taking seconds.
That fear is exactly why "I'd love just a little" works. It shows you care about the host, not just the food.
What if love feels too strong for me?
Then use its calmer sibling. "I would like a little more, please."
I'd like a little more, please. Still polite?
Very. Both "would like" and "would love" turn wanting into asking nicely. Now say it with us, slowly. "I'd love just a little, thank you."
Let me try, but I always rush it. I'd love a little, thank you.
Almost. Keep the word "just" in. It makes the portion sound modest. "I'd love just a little, thank you."
Right. I'd love just a little, thank you. That feels good to say.
Perfect. The host beams and nobody's plate is a battlefield.
Okay, but here's my real fear. What if I decline kindly and the host still pushes? Oh, come on, just a bit more.
Easy. You repeat your warm line, lighter this time. "It really is delicious, but I'm so full."
So I don't cave. I just stay warm and hold the line.
Exactly. Then you turn to the food itself and the pushing quietly stops.
Wait, how does talking about the food stop it?
Because praise is the secret weapon. Listen to this guest. "What's in this dish? It smells amazing."
Ooh, that's a question and a compliment at the same time.
Right. Asking what's in it tells the host you love the flavor enough to want the recipe.
Does the praise have to be about taste?
Not at all. You can praise the smell, the flavor, even how pretty the dish looks. So say it with us. "What's in this? It smells amazing."
What's in this? It smells amazing.
Lovely. And you can swap the ending. "What's in this? The flavor is incredible."
What's in this? The flavor is incredible. 2 compliments for the price of 1.
Want another small talk line?
Yes, give me one I could actually use.
Try, "Did you make this yourself? It's wonderful."
Did you make this yourself? It's wonderful. Easy.
Or, If you adore it, you have to give me the recipe.
You have to give me the recipe. That sounds generous.
It is. It tells the host their food is worth making at home.
So the dish becomes the easy thing to talk about.
Right. Food is the one topic every guest at the table can share.
The plate stops being a problem and starts being a topic.
Beautifully put. That's the shift from surviving dinner to actually enjoying it.
Okay, I'm sold. Decline kindly, accept gently, praise honestly.
3 small lines, and the whole table feels easier.
But there are 3 separate lines. Do I just pick one each time?
Good question. And there's one move that ties all 3 together, so you never freeze again.
Tell me the move. I keep freezing the second that spoon comes toward my plate.
Picture it again. Your friends leaning in with seconds, beaming, spoon hovering over your plate.
And my brain just locks. I either lie and take a huge pile or I wave it away.
Right. 2 bad doors. But you don't have to choose between lying and being rude.
There's a third door.
There's a warm middle line. Listen to the host's daughter at the table. I'd love just a little, thank you.
Oh, she's saying yes, but small.
Exactly. She accepts the kindness and keeps her own limit, all in one breath.
I usually just blurt, yeah, okay, and end up with a mountain.
And yeah, okay, sounds flat, like you gave in. I'd love just a little sounds chosen.
So the host feels thanked, not pressured.
Exactly. You're saying yes to them and yes to yourself.
I'd love just a little. That love does a lot of work.
That's the heart of it. I'd love and I'd like are your polite preference words.
So instead of give me a bit, it's I'd love a bit.
Warmer, softer, and it still means the same thing. The host hears the warmth first.
Say it with us then.
Say it with us nice and slow. I'd love just a little, thank you.
One more time, because I want this one in my bones. I'd love just a little, thank you.
Perfect. And notice you never had to overeat or wave anyone off.
But what if I actually do want more? It really is good.
Then lean all the way in. I'd love some more. It's so good.
So the same words stretch both ways, a little or a lot.
That's the beauty. Would love carries the smile no matter the size of the helping.
And it pairs with the praise we already have.
It does. A quick, I'd love a bit more, the flavor's incredible, and the host glows.
What if they offer again after I already took a little?
Easy. It was so good, but I'm happy right now. Thank you.
A second soft no, still warm.
And you can lean on the praise to soften it. The compliment carries the no.
I like that it keeps the table talking instead of going quiet.
That's the whole point. Food talk is the easiest small talk there is.
Because everyone at the table cooked it or chose it.
Right. So you stay curious. Is this your grandma's recipe?
Oh, that's nice. You're handing the host a little spotlight.
And hosts love that spotlight. The dish becomes a story, not a chore.
Give me one more curious question I can keep in my pocket.
Try, what made you pick this dish tonight? People light up.
Because now they're telling a story, not just feeding me.
Right. The meal turns into a conversation, and nobody's counting plates.
And it works even if the food's just okay, right?
Totally. You're praising the effort and the welcome, not grading the cooking.
That takes the pressure off being honest.
Exactly. Warmth first, and the truth fits comfortably underneath.
Let me try the full beat. Spoon comes in. I'd love just a little, thank you. Is this your grandma's recipe?
That's it. Gracious yes, warm question, table stays alive.
Can we say the accept line together one last time? I want it automatic.
Always. Slowly with a smile in your voice. I'd love just a little, thank you.
I'd love just a little, thank you. It already feels lighter.
Beautiful. That ease is the goal. Yes when you want it, soft no when you don't.
It honestly feels like a different person than the guy who used to freeze.
Same thigh. 2 small words. Would love turn the whole moment friendly.
Okay, decline, accept, praise. I've got the 3.
You do. And there's still that single bread that links them so you truly never freeze.
The move you teased. Don't leave me hanging.
I won't. Let's tie all 3 together right now. But before we tie the knot, your accept and your praise need to be as ready as your decline.
Fair enough. Saying yes still feels scary. What if I want a little but not a full plate?
Then picture the host, spoon hovering, eyes hopeful. The warm yes sets the size, and the smile at once. I'd love just a little, thank you.
When would I pick like over love?
Use I'd like when you're being neat and polite. Save I'd love for when the food truly excites you.
So love is my extra warm gear. Good to know.
And here's a bonus. Once you've said yes, you can keep it light. This is my favorite part of the night.
Just easy to pressure to perform.
Right. Relaxed words, relaxed table. You're a guest, not a contestant.
I always thought yes meant a giant second plate.
That's the freeze, isn't it? You think it's all or nothing. Lie and eat, or refuse and sting.
And there's no middle.
But there is a warm middle line. I'd love just a little is that middle every time.
Okay, I can decline, I can accept. But praising still trips me. I just say good.
Watch the table again. The host slides the dish over, and a guest leans in. What's in this? It smells amazing.
Ooh, that's a question and a compliment in one breath.
That's the trick. What's in this shows real interest, and it smells amazing hands them a little joy.
So I'm not just praising, I'm inviting them to talk about their cooking.
Yes, people love their own dish. Ask about it, and the whole table warms up.
What if I already know what's in it?
Then praise a detail. The flavor is incredible. Did you add something special?
Oh, so I aim my question at the flavor itself.
Exactly. Curiosity about the flavor tells the host their work landed.
Give me the dough version so I really feel it.
Dull, it's good. Warm, what's in this? It smells amazing. Which one keeps the night going?
The second easily. Good closes the door. The question opens it.
Now say it with us. What's in this? It smells amazing. Again, like you mean it. What's in this? It smells amazing.
And if they tell me the secret ingredient, I just keep asking?
You can. A simple, oh, I never would have guessed, keeps the small talk easy and kind.
No grammar exam needed, just curiosity.
That's the heart of it. And that, Mark, is the realization I want you to keep.
Lay it on me.
Think back to that frozen moment. The spoon, the silence, your warm cheeks.
Don't remind me. The whole table just stopped.
It stopped because the words came out cold, not because your grammar was wrong.
So the fix was never really about perfect English.
Never. At a friend's table, warmth matters more than a flawless sentence. A kind tone is what people remember.
Huh? Nobody at that dinner was grading my verb tenses.
No one ever is. They remember how you made them feel about their food, their home, their effort.
So even a clumsy sentence works if it's warm?
Far better than a perfect sentence that's cold. Kindness covers a lot of mistakes.
I wish I'd known that the first night.
You know it now. And the host you worried about, they just wanted you to enjoy their food.
Not to recite a textbook.
Never the textbook. Just you, warm and present at their table.
Let's replay that night. Same spoon, same hopeful host, but a new me.
Do it. The host lifts the spoon. A little more?
I'd love just a little, thank you. What's in this? It smells amazing.
And now, does the table stop?
No way. The host is beaming. We're actually talking.
Same kitchen, same you. 2 warm lines instead of 1 cold one.
The silence is just gone, replaced with a real conversation.
That's the whole shift. You didn't get smarter. You got kinder out loud.
So my homework isn't more grammar drills.
Your homework is to mean the kind words. The grammar can stay imperfect.
And it took what, 10 words?
About that. Warm beats perfect every single time.
Okay, I feel the lesson in my chest now, not just my notebook.
Good. Hold on to that feeling because there's one last thing to lock it all in.
So what's the one thing?
One thread for the whole meal. Lead with a kind tone. Let the words come second. Decline, accept, or praise. The warm voice is what ties all 3 together.
So I never freeze again because I always start from warm, no matter what they offer.
Exactly. Remember the 3 lines? Decline, it's delicious, but I'm completely full. Accept, yes please, just a little. Praise, this is amazing. What's in it?
And the magic words? Full, please, amazing. Warm beats perfect.
Now say all 3 out loud, in the quiet. Decline, accept, praise. Get them ready before your next invitation.
That silent table from the very start? I'd actually survive it now.
You'd do more than survive. You'd make your host smile, even if a word comes out wrong.
Okay, here's our question for you. Have you ever said something too blunt at a meal? Tell us the story in the comments.
Then write the kinder version you'll use next time. We'll be right there, cheering you on.
Use one of these lines the very next time someone offers you food.
You've got this. Go warm up someone's dinner table.
See you at the next meal, friends.